Hello my friends, and welcome to the Evil Britain Strategic Command Campaign. I don't know much about the American Civil War, but what I do know is that I want Britain to win it. So, we are going to play the full campaign as the Confederates, and we are going to persuade Britain to join the war. We're going to do everything in our power to make it happen. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to, unusually for me, I'm going to tone down the difficulty from expert. Well, it's on expert, but I'm going to tone down the experience just slightly, because this game does not have artillery or tanks, which obviously, but those of you who have played Strategic Command will know that it's very difficult to eke out an advantage on expert without using those kind of units that give you a bit of local power, and they just don't exist in this game, and it's just not fun. It is not fun. So I'm going to give them a slight advantage, but not, well, it's still, +1 is still a huge advantage. But I'm not giving them +2. Because it's, it basically means that you'll just never win any battle. Ever. Anywhere. The only way you can win is by surrounding enemy units, and that's not necessarily easy to do. Even less so in this game than the other Strategic Command games where you've got fast units like tanks. The only fast unit you have in this is cavalry. Okay, Confederates bombard Fort Sumter. Welcome, Mr. President, to American Civil War. At present, many border states have not yet joined the war. Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina are certain to join the Confederacy in the coming terms, while Maryland will join the Union. Situations in Missouri and Kentucky are less certain and can be influenced by diplomatic investment, events, and invasion. Victory in this war will depend on your ability to maintain the public's fighting spirit. Okay. Let's rumble. But of course, what we're going to worry about is immediately opening up diplomatic channels with the UK. Let's get evil Britain into the war as soon as possible. Okay, so there's genuinely not much to do at the beginning of this game. I've played a few turns before because I captured screenshots for this game. Okay, that is it for our first turn. I captured screenshots for this game for the store, so... Despite European intervention being our best hope at winning the war, a minority of leaders believe we would be better off ordering the immediate sale of our cotton for gold, which we could then use to buy weapons. At current market prices, we would receive 1,750 MPPs, magical produce points. However, if we were to sell the cotton, we would be unable to choose a sponsor, and it would be extremely unlikely that any European power would ever enter the war. No. We must now decide on which European nation will be the focus of our diplomatic efforts. 3 European nations offer similar levels of military power. What a lie. What a lie that is. But they each have their own unique advantages. I believe our best strategy would be to attempt to convince the British to join our war effort, but many would argue that all 3 European powers will be of equal value in this war for independence. Yes. Evil Britain must join the war. Confederates celebrate the succession of Virginia. Woohoo! Confederate forces move to secure Norfolk Navy Yard. Maryland General Assembly votes against succession. I know very little about the American Civil War, so this will be interesting. President Lincoln calls for 75,000 volunteers. President Lincoln proclaims a blockade of the southern states. Confederacy and miners collect 588 magical produce points. Mystical production power. Union forces seize the St. Louis Arsenal and move into Missouri. Kentucky concerned by Union violation of Missouri's neutrality policy. A 1-strength garrison. How sad could that be? Union garrisons evacuate forts in the Indian Territory. Confederate forces occupy forts in the Indian Territory. Fort Leavenworth. Looks like the invasion of Missouri is underway. Confederates celebrate the succession of Arkansas. And Tennessee. Confederates celebrate the succession of North Carolina. That's a lot of succession going on. The Provisional Army of the Confederate States begins organizing. President Lincoln calls for Union volunteers to serve 3-year terms. Guess that might be important 3 years from now. It's all kicking off. Look at all that. To avoid the federal blockade of our ports, we have begun importing 50 points worth of copper, gunpowder, and other essential raw materials from Mexico via the overland route into Texas. This trade will continue as long as you maintain control of Laredo. Is that how that's pronounced? But will cease if Mexico enters the war against us. Virginia is unquestionably the most valuable state in the South, home to vast mineral resources and armaments production that will sustain our fight for independence. Now that it has joined the Confederacy, it is essential that we begin planning the defense of Virginia immediately. Our highest priority should be the defense of the city of Richmond and nearby Petersburg, which may be threatened by invasions both from the north and from the east, from Fort Monroe. You are also strongly advised to maintain an army in the Shenandoah Valley to the west, though you should not seek to cross the what the hell? The Appalachians? Who knows? Pronunciation's a mystery in America anyway. Arkansas is pronounced Arkansas and not Arkansas. How it's written. As this will leave our troops exposed and difficult to supply. Do not attempt to cross the Potomac unless you are prepared to launch a full-scale invasion of the North. Such action is sure to inspire thousands more volunteers to fight for our enemies. Division now available for production. Mountain Division now available for production. And 2 brigades. But we know in our Evil Britain campaign that the most important thing is to drag the UK into this war as soon as possible. Spend all the money. Right. Let's go ahead and overstrength this fort. The old State Guard is not going to live for long. But hey. Right. Look at that. We're so close to the enemy's capital, we can taste it. Okay, let's not worry about research for now. Each level of fort modernization increases the ironclad attack value, land and naval defense values of forts by 1.5. That's a huge increase. Heavy mortars improve siege artillery railroad batteries, increasing their fort attack values by 1, de-entrenchment values by 0.5, and their demoralization value by 5%. Doesn't increase their attack, though. Interestingly, the Confederates start with high cavalry tactics. So I guess a cavalry focus is a great idea. Right, nothing more to do on this turn. These early turns don't really offer much in terms of choice. Great Britain extends belligerent status to Confederacy in response to the blockade. Texas militia ready for service following the capture of Fort Washita? Virginian volunteers form new brigades at Richmond. Glorious. Confederate Army of the Shenandoah begins organizing. It's all kicking off. Here they come, boys. I'm going to go on the fact that I have no navy. That if this is like, it's like Axis versus Allies, where the Germans have no navy and the British have an immense navy. Look at these naughty boys invading my precious, evil British Empire satellite state. Kentucky declares neutrality. Doesn't seem like the Union really cares about that very much. Mexican bandit Jean Contino launches unsuccessful incursion into Confederate-held Texas. Okay. I don't think Missouri can be saved. Well, we might be wise to deploy at least a few units over there. Okay, I do not believe that these units will move from that tiny peninsula that they are currently occupying. Get up there. Stop the invasion. All right. 881. Alright, that's as much diplomacy as we can have. Let's start our cavalry research. Let's also buy... Let's start buying artillery. $400 each, and we're only allowed 2. They're going to be very busy throughout the war, I think. Supremely busy artillery. Okay. This themed map is actually kind of hard to read. Alright, that is it. The Missouri State Guard, despite receiving tens of thousands of volunteers, suffers from shortages of equipment and is unlikely to keep the Federal Army out of Jefferson City indefinitely. Although efforts to reinforce the area are unlikely to save the city, our other forces in Missouri are well positioned to maintain control of at least part of the state. If you wish to prioritize this sector, we can send a command staff in the form of a Confederate HQ unit under General Sterling Price to Springfield, Missouri. Price would then be able to train and equip our forces there so that they may offer more effective resistance. Providing Price with the necessary reinforcements will be quite costly, requiring 375 MPPs at 125 MPPs each turn for the next 3 turns. Historically, he played a vital role in the organization of the Missouri State Guard, ultimately leading to victories at Wilson's Creek and First Lexington. Sure, why not? Confederacy moves government to Richmond. Arkansas volunteers form new units. New units formed in Virginia as volunteers continue gathering at Richmond. River gunboat Jackson is commissioned. Texas raises forces to defend the Gulf Coast. Gunboats owned by the state of North Carolina join the Confederate Navy. Okay. Is it even worth repairing those? That is a lot of damage. Oh, we're getting truffle shuffled. Oh, Missouri's getting squeezed. Spain extends belligerent status to the Confederacy. Okay. In light of the great industrial importance that Virginia's foundries have to the south, the decision has been made to move the government to the city of Richmond. Located less than 100 miles from Washington, D.C., our new capital is likely to come under attack. It is vital that we maintain control of this symbol of our independence. You will receive 500 fighting spirit points for every turn you hold Richmond. Despite the efforts of the Missouri State Guard, it is unlikely we'll be able to maintain control of all of Missouri indefinitely. When Jefferson City falls, we can expect the North to install a new government in the state, making Missouri fight as a fully fledged member of the Union. More importantly, when this happens, they will gain control of the entire state, except for whatever our forces physically occupy at the time. In order to prevent this from isolating our forces, you should seek to occupy towns from which your troops may gather supplies, and avoid advancing too far north. It is also advisable to keep some small units in northern Arkansas so that communications with forces in Missouri can be restored as quickly as possible. Okay, so all of this territory is going to turn on us, basically, is what that is saying. So I've got this West Virginia invasion here, which I can't get a grip on either, because I have no units and no way to get units there. Okay. Okay, he's controlling all the units he can control. It's fine. How much is it to repair this? 40 magic points. I feel like I should just let that die. I think there's going to be no way to defend it, considering the amount of damage that was done to it in a single blast. I'm just guessing that all the fortifications that are exposed to the sea are probably going to be destroyed at some point, and that these ones that are defended by shipyards will be okay. And the river gunboats cannot leave the river. Okay, alright. Okay, these ones cannot get that far forward. For now. I guess I could cut up there and pin that, but that's super risky. I think what I'll do is I'll occupy the town just to make sure that they can't get forward supply. Let's be careful about moving this HQ to somewhere where it might get picked off. Okay. Huh. The old operate is quite powerful, huh? But you are not allowed to operate to Arkansas. Okay, well, we'll probably be engaged with the enemy pretty much immediately here, so let's not damage their morale by operating them anyway. Okay. We're on our way to halt the invasion. Okay. Let's deploy these guys at Memphis. We'll send them up here to Pocahontas. It looks like the main thing to hold is this. Interestingly, if you look at Missouri as a state, there are lots of towns which of course have their value, small value in MPP. But the actual main value is right here, it's this mine. And so it seems as if that mine is what we should attempt to occupy. It also looks like in order to occupy it, you have to because there's only a road here. You gotta hold Springfield, Bolivar, and then these towns down here. So I'm going to assume that when Missouri falls, we're going to want to be in position to actually take this mine back and just hold it. Just hold here and hold here and hold the mine. Might as well. I'm not going to repair it because it's just going to get wrecked. I guess I should leave those garrisons where they are. Okay, let's go ahead and purchase another sweet artillery. Let's work on that cavalry. Since we have an advantage in cavalry, we might as well go all in on it. Right. Let's see what they do. Looks like most of this stuff that I haven't moved is just forts and boats that aren't useful. Yeah, not much to add here. I want to create a line, a vague line of defense here, here, and then here, here, and just hold this. or just here and here. Basically, as soon as this line breaks and the mine gets cut off, it's no longer worth the effort, and we should just withdraw. But for as long as we hold the mine, that's 16 magical spice points that we will get. So there is some value in holding it. Alright. That is it for now. We're out of time. The early turns are quite quick. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Let's see if we can defend ourselves while dragging the Empire into the war. Currently 8%. I will see you guys next time.